Welcome to A Cup of Happiness. So, thank you for coming to and watching my Cup of Happiness video. My name is Cindy Bettino. My company is Transformational Healing. I'm a life coach, energy worker, and happiness expert. And sometimes our cup of happiness is just a nice big glass of water, especially on a hot summer day. So today I really want to talk about we're all big kids. You know, we can be 19, we can be 30, we can be 50, we can be 80. And the truth is that there is a part of our psyche that is literally 5 years old. This many, right? And that is the reason why we can behave irrationally. And that 5-year-old part of our psyche could either have unbridled joy and love, giggles, happiness, hope, or it can have unbridled fear, which makes us completely irrational and also brings out our worst habits, our worst types of behavior. And the bottom line is when we make decisions from that part of our psyche, they're probably not the best decisions. But also, it's very normal to behave irrationally. It's very normal to behave like a 5-year-old. Everyone does it. Everyone's psyche. No one gets a pass at not having a 5-year-old. We all do it. And different things can send us into a 5-year-old part of our psyche or 5-year-old behavior. Like, I don't know, for me, I still love, playing with my granddaughter, playing in the little kiddie pool, going and playing in puddles when it's raining. There are lots of things. Giggles on the floor, rolling around. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that kind of irrational behavior. I mean, some people will judge it, right? Like, especially if they see me playing in a puddle somewhere and I'm 58 or almost 59 years old. But where our 5-year-old really becomes a problem is when there is unbridled fear. Because this part of our psyche has not only remembered all the great things and beautiful things that have happened to us and in love and light and being seen and witnessed and held, but it also remembers all the hurt, all the pain, all the trauma, the drama, the humiliation, the bullying, the this, the that, and the pain of being hurt, sometimes physically hurt, sometimes emotionally hurt, mentally hurt, spiritually hurt. And it's going to do everything in its power to prevent us as adults having that pain arrive again. Yeah. So this is where our bad habits come from. And again, when we make decisions based in that type of fear and terror, and when our 5-year-old is driving the bus called our life, we're going to get in a few accidents, shall we say, right? We're not going to make the best decisions. But the whole purpose of this video blog is to help you, one, understand that we all have a 5-year-old part of our psyche, that it's normal to behave irrationally. It might not be what we want. We might not like it, right? Especially if we show up needy or procrastinating, or we feel like a victim, or we have irrational fears like being scared of spiders, arachnophobia, or being so scared of getting on a plane we won't do it, or lots of things, right? So it might not be comfortable for us to be here. We might not like being here. And we might be judged for being here, but the truth is there's no shame in behaving like a 5-year-old because it is a very normal part of our psyche. The goal, of course, is to understand when we are behaving like a 5-year-old. And 5-year-olds get stubborn, right? I mean, think of the temper tantrums that 5-year-olds and 4-year-olds and 3-year-olds and 2-year-olds have. Yeah, we can have those same temper tantrums. And so the goal is to be able to realize that we're in this place and then pull ourselves back to the other parts of our psyche that are more our age, like the adult part of our psyche or our higher self or our heart. That's the goal, right? It doesn't always happen that way. And so I wanted to help people understand why they behave irrationally and to maybe not judge someone for behaving irrationally, but help them come back to a higher, older place where they're more aware, where they're more rational, without shame or guilt. The other reason why I wanted to create this video blog is because there's something that we know with children that's called the 100-time rule. And so we know if we are in the grocery store and we have a child with us and they say, "Can I have a piece of candy?" And we know that we're going to have dinner later, but they've been behaving so well and they've been so good. We're like, "Yeah, pick out some candy. You can have it, while we wait in line." What we know with the 100-time rule is that from now on, every time you're in the grocery store and in the checkout line, your child will ask for a piece of candy. And you have to say no 100 times, and then they'll stop asking, right? And if you give in at time 2 or time 99, you're back to square one. So that's children, but we're all big kids, right? So if you have a certain behavior that you've been doing for a long time and you decide to change that behavior, right? So maybe you had a really difficult time saying no. So you always said yes, and your friends and your family, everybody got used to you saying yes. And then all of a sudden you decide that's not working for you anymore and no one's treating your yes like a gift, and you don't want to say yes all the time, that you want to take better self-care and have better boundaries, and you start saying no. Well, guess what's going to happen? Right? Yeah, you're going to have to say no to each person you've been saying yes to 100 times. Not because they're not hearing you, not because they're bad people, but because we're all big kids. And that 5-year-old part of their psyche is going to come and ask you 100 times before they stop asking. So, yeah, don't get angry with them. You've actually trained them to do this, right? But you're going to have patience and know that you're just going to have to keep saying no with your heart, with love, over and over 100 times. And if you give in at any time, you go back to square one. So this might have you help you have more compassion for people when you change your behavior. It might have you have more compassion for yourself when you behave irrationally. But just remember, we're all big kids.